You open the app, the car arrives, and boom, the mini panic. What do I say? Don't worry, after this video, you'll never feel lost for words in a ride again.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a super practical topic. The English you use in ride-sharing apps like Uber or Lyft. We're counting down 10 things. English learners often say that might sound a bit confusing or even rude to your driver. But don't worry, these aren't strict rules. Think of them as easy fixes to help you sound more natural and confident in real-life English conversations. Ready to level up your ride-sharing game? Let's get started. Coming in at number 10 is the word go. Picture this. You jump into the car, slam the door, and just say go. To you, it might just mean let's begin, but to the driver, it can sound like you're angry or in a huge rush. It's a bit too direct for a friendly interaction. So, what's a better way? Try a softer, more polite phrase like, let's go, please, or a simple, you can start, thank you. See the difference? In English, we often soften commands, especially with people we don't know. Adding a simple please or thank you makes you sound incredibly natural and polite. It sets a positive tone for the whole ride. Next up, at number 9, is the classic phrase, taxi. Take me home. This one sounds like it's straight out of an old black and white movie. While it might work for hailing a traditional cab on a busy street when you're using a ride-sharing app, the driver already has your destination. Saying take me home can come across as a bit bossy or outdated. Instead, a much friendlier approach is to greet your driver and confirm the destination. For example, hi, can you take me to ... double quotes and then say the address or location. This shows cooperation rather than just giving a command. Plus, it's a great way to double-check that the GPS is correct, which can save you a lot of hassle later. It's a small change that makes a big difference in how you're perceived. Alright, at number 8, we have a phrase we've all been tempted to use when we're running late. Fast, fast. While the intention is clear, you need to get somewhere. Quickly shouting this can make the driver feel pressured and anxious. It can even sound like you're questioning their driving skills or encouraging them to drive unsafely. A much better way to communicate your urgency is to explain the situation politely. You could say something like, I'm running a bit late for an appointment. Could you go a little faster, please? Or if there's a quicker route, I'd really appreciate it. The key here is the tone. Polite phrasing keeps the energy in the car calm and cooperative. The driver is more likely to help you out if you ask nicely instead of making a demand. Remember, a calm driver is a safe driver. Now, for number 7, a phrase that can really startle a driver. Shouting, stop here. Imagine you suddenly realize you're at your destination. Your first instinct might be to yell, but this can cause the driver to panic and brake abruptly, which is unsafe for everyone. It also feels very aggressive. To avoid giving your driver a heart attack, try a calmer approach. A simple, could you stop here please, works perfectly. Or, as you approach the spot, you can say, "This corner is fine, thank you," or "Anywhere along here is good." The combination of a lower volume and a polite sentence structure communicates your need clearly, even if you have an accent. It's all about using a calm rhythm to get your point across without causing alarm. Moving on to number 6, we have the question, "What is your good name?" This is a beautiful example of a phrase that's a direct translation from several languages, where it's a perfectly polite and common way to ask for someone's name. However, in English, it sounds a little unnatural and formal, almost poetic. Native speakers just don't use the phrase "good name" when making introductions. So, what should you say instead? Keep it simple. "What's your name" is perfectly fine. Or, even better, you can use the information in the app. You could say, "I can see your name in the app, is that right, Adam?" This shows you're attentive and builds a nice connection right from the start. It's a small tweak that makes your English sound instantly more modern and fluent. At number 5, let's talk about giving directions. A common mistake is saying something like, "Turn next right now." This phrase is very commanding and can feel like you retelling the driver how to do their job, especially when they're following a GPS. It puts them on the defensive. A smarter alternative is to frame it as a suggestion or a piece of information. To try saying, "I think it's the next right turn," or "My destination is just up here on the right." This approach gives the driver the information they need without giving them a direct order. It makes you sound like a local who is helping out, not a backseat driver who is taking over. This subtle shift from command to collaboration is a hallmark of sounding more fluent and natural in English. Coming in at number 4 is a common grammatical mix-up. "Can I sit front side?" While the driver will probably understand what you mean, the phrasing isn't quite right. The word "side" is a bit confusing in this context. The correct and more natural way to ask is it okay if I sit in the front seat?" Or simply, "May I sit in the front?" Using the phrase "Is it okay if ... double quotes or "may I" is a classic example of polite, natural English. And using the word "seat" instead of "side" is the precise vocabulary. It's these little details of courtesy and correctness that really polish your conversational skills and make interactions go smoothly. Alright, we're in the top 3. At number 3, we have the question, "How much price?" You'll hear this a lot, and while it's understandable, it's not standard English. The word "price" is a noun, but when asking about the cost of a service like a taxi ride, we use a different structure. The correct and more common question is, "How much is the fare?" The word "fare" is specific to transportation costs. Alternatively, you could ask, "How much do I pay?" or "What do I owe you?" The "how much is it?" pattern is fundamental to English question forming and helps with the natural flow and rhythm of the sentence. Mastering this will make you sound much more like a native speaker when dealing with payments. At number 2, let's look at a generous but slightly awkward phrase. "No change, keep money." It's a kind gesture, but the word order can sound a bit clumsy or clipped. It gets the message across, but we can make it sound much more fluent with a tiny fix. The standard, friendly way to say this is, no problem. You can keep the change, or even more simply, keep the change, thanks. This small adjustment in word order makes a world of difference. It transforms the sentence from sounding like broken English to a fluent, kind, and completely natural expression of generosity. It shows that your kindness is matched by your command of the language. And finally, the #1 banned phrase for ride-sharing English is cancel ride. You come late. This statement is very direct and places blame squarely on the driver. While your frustration might be valid, this kind of language can hurt the friendly atmosphere, negatively impact your passenger rating, and it's just not the most effective way to handle the situation. A more professional and diplomatic approach is to use softer language. You could say, I'm sorry, but I think I'll cancel this one because I've been waiting for a long time. Thanks anyway. Notice the I think and the politeness of thanks anyway. This phrasing keeps you in control, maintains a professional tone, and avoids direct confrontation. This skill is incredibly useful, not just in rideshares, but in all customer service interactions in English. So, there you have it, 10 phrases to avoid and their smarter alternatives. Now you know what not to say. Let's flex those new sentences with some quick practice. I'll say each one, and you can repeat it after me. Ready? Let's go. Please? Could you stop here, please? How much is the fare? No problem, you can keep the change. Excellent work. Practice these simple swaps, and you'll notice a huge improvement in your interactions. Your drivers will appreciate it, and you'll feel more confident every time you ride. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on real-world English. See you in the next video. See, real-life English isn't about memorizing every single grammar rule. It's about sounding clear, kind, and confident, even if you're on a noisy street. Today, we learned how to swap 10 short, tricky phrases for much smoother ones. We focused on making polite requests using a friendly tone and putting a little smile in your voice. Think of it as upgrading your conversation skills. The next time you use a ride-sharing app, really listen to how you speak. If your words feel natural and comfortable, guess what? You're already sounding fluent. That's the real goal. Thanks so much for listening to English with Alice, where we have real conversations for beginners. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with a friend who gets a little nervous talking to drivers. And don't forget to subscribe for more easy English tips for your daily life. See you next time.